NBA basketball on 2K Sports. We're glad you could join us on this exciting Friday night matchup. And on tap tonight, it's the Houston Rockets going up against the Utah Jazz. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. Now we get a chance to check out some stats for Fred VanVleet.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, wing pair will be Sexton and Markkanen. Filipowski's out there with Walker Kessler. And it's Collier in at the 1 spot. And for the Rockets, running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Alperen Şengün out there with Thompson. And it's VanVleet in at the point. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Now here's VanVleet. From 13, that one's not going to go. And so Markkanen will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Pass to Collier. And he converts the layup.
Nice read from the big fella. Markkanen demonstrating a solid feel with his passing.
Now VanVleet. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Four on the shot clock. Shoots it up. Filipowski grabs the board. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Pass to Markkanen. Thompson with the rebound. And Clark watching Amen Thompson. He is just a different kind of athlete.
He sure is, boy. Special as an athlete. And we've got some of the greatest athletes in the world across the NBA. He's smooth, he's explosive, he's fluid, well coordinated. Seems like he just kind of floats in the air. It's special to watch him do his thing.
Here's Collier. The Rockets making the shot. To the paint, and stolen by Thompson. And here we go. Fast break. VanVleet's got it. And he makes that one.
The defense gets physical inside, and guess what? The tenacious Fred VanVleet ready for it.
Pass to Filipowski. Over Thompson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Thompson. The Jazz shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
Filipowski taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And Clark, the Rockets, just one of a handful of franchises to win back-to-back NBA titles.
Can you believe that, Kevin? It was roughly 30 years ago that the Rockets did that, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, perhaps the best player in the league at that time. Of course, this was while Michael Jordan was retired from the NBA the first time.
It's his first trip to the line.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
And I don't think there's any question about it, guys. He's got to bring that percentage up. I mean, those are the kind of free throw numbers that will get you in a coach's doghouse and get your teammates a little mad at you.
No good on the free throw. You know, Greg, thinking back to the glory days in Utah, they went to back-to-back finals in 97 and 98.
Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that Stockton-Malone era, they just couldn't overcome the dynastic Bulls. The Jazz still searching for that first NBA title.
The Jazz making a switch here. Potter's checked in. And the second free throw, good.
Thompson is one of the best pure athletes to come into the league in quite some time. He's fast, and boy, can he fly.
And Will Hardy calls timeout here. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Here's a look at the 2K leaderboard. Certainly been a good month for these teams on the offensive glass. The Rockets #1.
And they've really put an emphasis on offensive rebounding. And, guys, it's paying off. The second chance points are coming in bunches.
Here's Sexton. He had 15 points last outing. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Brooks.
20th in fast break points. And as far as team scoring goes, not going all that well. They're in the bottom third of the league, which means their D has to work extra hard for them to compete.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Sexton against Green. And stolen by Thompson. And Green with the basket on the assist by Thompson.
Terrific job by Green, utilizing that world-class speed to get out ahead of everybody else.
Pass to Potter. Here's Collier. An easy 2 points on the layup. Collier's got his second basket.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now, here's Green, hoping to put that miserable performance against the Clippers behind him tonight. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Green's got his second bucket of the night.
Green, impressive range from deep. He knows how dangerous he can be from there.
First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Rockets leading by 4. Well, Clark, we hear a lot about the antics with Brooks, but he deserves more attention for his play.
I agree, especially on the defensive end, Kevin. He's one of the top perimeter defenders in the league, and some of what his antics are flowing out of is his competitive spirit. I still think he needs to tamp down the antics because that does take away from what he does, which is lock guys up and play with great competitive spirit all the time.
So it's Utah now, following the score by Houston. Markkanen from outside. It's good from long range.
And the quick trigger of Markkanen is impressive. He's got such a fluid release, too, especially on these catch-and-shoot jumpers.
Van Vliet looking around. Count it. Good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Jazz trail by 5. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the first.
Houston foul. Complete. First personal foul. Second team foul.
The Jazz have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line.
The first free throw is good. Houston with a big group substitution here. Smith checked in for Thompson. Tari Eason comes in for Brooks. Whitmore, he's checked in for Green. And Aaron Holiday's subbed in for Fred VanVleet. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Rockets leading by 4. 19 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Bounce pass from Whitmore. Şengün with the bucket.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Here's Sensabaugh. This one for 3, and that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Houston with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll get you back to the action after this break. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Rockets.
I like how they've worked the ball inside, getting looks closer in there, and that really helps your offense.
And, you know, another thing that's been working for them tonight, scoring off turnovers, points off miscues. They've been converting any mistakes at the other end.
The post pair form, it'll be Smith and Şengün. Then it's Tari Eason. Then there's Whitmore, and it's Holiday in at the 1. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. So, Greg, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? Major playoff implications in this one tonight.
Both teams have a lot on the line in this contest. Seeding in the postseason can make or break a team's chances.
Here's Holiday, following the bucket by the Jazz. Lock at 6. Şengün with the screen for Whitmore. From outside, off the mark. Jazz trail by 4. Here's Springer. And here's George for 3. Şengün with the rebound. We're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. And it's Smith missing. George against Holiday. Outside, George. Pass to Sensabaugh. Pulls up. Rockets with the rebound. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
And you know what? If they run away with this game like they did in that one, I'd expect to see plenty of minutes again for the guys coming off the bench.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Alperen Şengün is a weapon on the block. Coach Ime Udoka said there are not a ton of true low-post threats in the NBA nowadays. Joel Embiid, Jokic, I don't know how many others there are anymore. Alpie's had success against pretty much everybody that's guarded him. Kevin, his footwork is indeed high level.
DA totally agree. Great footwork. Moves on moves, I've always said. Here's Whitmore. Hasn't made one yet. Good on the bucket. Whitmore's got the lead up to 6 now for the Rockets.
And he might be a rookie, but Whitmore can play some bully ball. He will get it inside and be as physical as anybody.
And Will Hardy calls timeout here. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Houston with a big group substitution here. Amen Thompson, he's checked in for Jabari Smith. Dylan Brooks comes in for Tari Eason. Green, he's checked in for Cam Whitmore. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Aaron Holiday. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. George looking over the floor. Pass to Sensabaugh. Green against Sexton. Kessler, a screen on Green. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Sexton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And so VanVleet will bring it up for the Rockets. It's a 3-point game.
In the first half. 2 minutes.
Fires the 3. Good on the triple. VanVleet's got 5 now.
He was determined to get those points back. You could just see the competitiveness of VanVleet there.
Clark, famously, Fred VanVleet was undrafted. Why do you think he was overlooked?
Wow, I tell you, I think size, but man, when you look at his intangibles, it's hard to not be impressed with what Fred VanVleet has done. He is an incredible basketball player, smart, tough, skilled, relentless. He's had a great career as an undrafted player.
And while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for Thompson. He's putting up about 14 points a night, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. It's hard to wrap your head around numbers like these, but that is just what he delivers night in and night out.
You know, it's so easy for us to take him for granted, to get spoiled with what he does. I think we've got to be more appreciative of the kind of impact this man has in every game he plays.
First free throw is good.
Hey, when you look at Thompson, his physical attributes jump out at you right away. I mean, he is a freak athlete with tremendous upside.
Houston making a switch here. Smith has checked in. Both shots good from the stripe. Hey, Greg, where do you think the Rockets are the strongest in their play?
I'd say on the glass. They generally do a good job crashing the boards and going for loose balls. They really value every possession.
Here's Filipowski. The shot by Markkanen, nobody around, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Markkanen's got his second bucket. Houston leading by 4. VanVleet outside. And it's sent back by Kessler. They get it back. Thompson sets the pick for VanVleet. Back to Thompson. VanVleet finds Thompson. Smith up again. It's good on the putback. Thompson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Rockets.
Timing and athleticism. That's how Thompson won himself the second opportunity.
Kessler against Smith. 27 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Collier. Over Green. Here's Filipowski. Sexton on the wing. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game. Brooks, that's a two-pointer, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. And it's an 8-point Houston lead. And so it's the Houston Rockets holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Looking good at this point, but wanting more. Right back after this break.
19.
Hey, everybody. Psst. I got a secret. We're approaching the playoffs, and we are starting the show with a breakdown of the Western Conference standings.
You know, for the Rockets, last week of the season, they want the playoffs to start, but they still got to take care of business.
Interesting time. You want to avoid injuries, but also not lose your momentum.
And turning our attention to the first half, a positive start for the Houston Rockets.
They're playing the way they're supposed to. Run the offense until you get a good look. Not complicated at all.
I disagree. Patience and perspective is complicated. That's why many teams can't do it.
And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Nice game, great performance by Şengün.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
You know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
You know, a trend that's been unmistakable, Greg, over the last few decades has been the number of positionless players.
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing, right? So many players now with diversity in their skill set, and there's no need to commit a player to a certain role just based on their size.
And so in the game for the Jazz, wing pair will be Sexton and Markkanen. Filipowski's out there with Walker Kessler, and it's Collier in at the point guard position.
And it's important Sexton makes those. The more he hits from outside, the more the floor will open up.
Şengün with the screen for Thompson. They kick it out to Green and out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Alperen Şengün.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Kessler, a screen on Van Vliet. Outside, Markkanen. His three-pointers off the mark.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
We've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And Will Hardy calls timeout here. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about.
It's time for the dance pan. If you see yourself on the big screen, then you know what to do. Show us your moves.
look here at the numbers for Dillon Brooks. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging 15 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Even though his numbers have been more than solid, I think he'll want to step his game up to another level.
Yeah, and you know, on paper, those numbers are terrific. Most players would be thrilled with those numbers, but as good as they are, I know this guy expects more of himself.
GA, if you look back at the Rockets' history, so many all-time greats have spent time there.
Yeah, it's an impressive list, right? Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Calvin Murphy, and Harden. Houston's well represented in the Hall of Fame.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's tightly guarded. Here's Thompson, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Filipowski.
And with his movement skills, Thompson routinely catches defenders out of position.
For Houston, they have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. First one falls for him. Both good from the line that time. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Sexton with it. 9 points in the game so far. Kessler, a screen on Van Vliet. Pass to Kessler. Yep, that one goes in there.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Houston leading by 4. Thompson outside. Houston moving the ball around. Green, no luck. Utah's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Inside. Here's Kessler. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. And now just a 2-point Houston lead. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for Houston. Pass to Şengün. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Muscling through contact. This is where Şengün's at his best.
Clark, looking at the growth and skill set of Şengün, he could be special.
I agree 100%, partner. He's got an instinct for the game that you just can't teach. The passing, the ball fakes, the pace at which he plays, it's all there. Feels like he could have the same kind of development trajectory as Jokic. We'll see.
Free throw, no good for Şengün.
What I like about Şengün is how versatile he is. I mean, especially as a passer.
Outside, George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. First trip to the line for him here.
Shooting for Utah, George taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one. Name a type of shot Keontae George can hit it. More than capable of scoring at all 3 levels.
The Jazz making a switch here. Potter's checked in. And he's good on the second. Rockets leading by 3.
2 minutes.
And here is Van Vliet. He's got 5. Thompson. That falls. Great assist by Van Vliet. Van Vliet's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Sensabaugh. Started by Green. Eason against Markkanen. Outside for George. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Van Vliet. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And it's sent back by Kessler. George up top. Sengun covering. Pass to Sensabaugh. And stolen by Thompson. And oh, here we go with Green. Oh, wow!
Some of these dunks he throws down are absolutely absurd. What an athlete Green is.
And that last look brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Jazz trail by 7. Outside, George. And he comes up with the deuce. George has got 5 now.
They just aren't attacking from the perimeter like they did in that first half, and I think that's part of the problem right now.
Green, the pass to Sengun. Van Vliet with it. And it's sent back by Kessler. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Markkanen against Eason. Here's Kessler. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Alperen Sengun.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. Houston making some changes. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Sengun. Jabari Smith comes in for Thompson. And Cam Whitmore's subbed in for Fred Van Vliet. Martin, he's checked in for Utah. Williams comes in for Markkanen. And he sinks the second. Houston leading by 4. Green deciding where to go with it. Just 3 on the clock. The putback. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good. And so it's Houston with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We'll return shortly. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. On offense, here are the Rockets. 6-point lead. The post pair form, it'll be Smith and Sengun. Then there's Whitmore. Then it's Tari Eason. And it's Holiday in at point guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamorous stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
And an important part of every team's game. A look at the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Their fast break plays have seemed unstoppable. They just keep finding ways to overrun the defense here in transition.
I love the fact they've done tremendous work on the offensive glass. A lot of second chance opportunities as they've kept that ball alive.
Incredible for his age. The decision-making of Sengun GA is very impressive.
So calm when he sees a double coming. Reads and reacts with ease when he's on the block or at the nail. Reminds you of a young Jokic with how he sees the game. And nice touch inside. George can finish from all 3 levels.
Smith sets the pick for Whitmore. And it's Smith that time on the assist by Whitmore. Smith's got the lead back up to 9 now for the Rockets. And it's Williams with the ball for the Jazz. Six to shoot. Outside, George. And the three off target. Rockets leading by 9. Pass to Eason. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
Well, you know, this is what happens. You can't afford to lose concentration even for a nanosecond.
Williams kicks to George. Here's Sensabaugh, guarded by Holiday. Here's Sensabaugh. Fires from the wing. No good on that one.
You know, the fact is he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Şengün. Houston with a big group substitution here. Thompson, he's checked in for Jabari Smith. Brooks comes in for Tari Eason. Green, he's checked in for Whitmore. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Aaron Holiday. Jazz trail by 9. And Will Hardy is called timeout. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. Now let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Able to listen in on Will Hardy's huddle with his team. He knows they struggled at the free throw line, but he actually looked at the positive. He said, if we continue to get to the foul line, good things are going to happen. But we have to keep getting there. Maybe that'll take the heat off him a little.
Thank you, David. Here's Filipowski. He's covered by Thompson. Here's Collier. Pocket 2. And they pick up 2.
It's been like this all night for both teams. The offenses having their way.
Any lull in the action so far has been short-lived because there have been nothing but buckets in this one.
That one falls. Thompson's got the lead up to 9 now for Houston.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Count it.
This one has been all about Amen Thompson, a freakish athlete. When he gets rolling, there's just not much a defender can do.
Here's Collier. On the wing, Markkanen. Pass to Collier.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Markkanen a screen on VanVleet. Here's Collier. The offensive rebound. Here's Filipowski. He's covered by Thompson. Here's Collier. The 3. It's rebounded by Houston. Thompson's got 6 rebounds now in the game. 1:31 left in the game. From 8, and that's good for 2.
Thompson really feeling it on offense. His energy and efficiency, terrific.
Here's Collier, covered by Van Vliet. Brooks against Markkanen. Pass to Collier. Shoots over Van Vliet. And they'll get another chance. Markkanen passes to Collier. Back to Markkanen. Second chance shot. He lays it in.
Assist from
There's 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Thompson outside. Back to Van Vliet. Thompson sets the pick for Van Vliet over Collier. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Here's the Jazz with the ball. They trail by 11. And Kessler throws it down.
assisted by Collier.
We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Now here's Van Vliet. So we see the Rockets get the win here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step to becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. And now we present the player of the game, Amen Thompson.